going on, everybody? It's Cannabis Guru, and I got a quick update for you. This lady's looking really good today, boy. The sun is shining bright, and she's getting all of it. So yeah, oh, it's windy today. This is like my first time really coming out here today, so yeah, she's handling the wind just fine lately. The stock's nice and strong now. Pretty soon I should be able to take these ties down or take them off, and let her do her thing naturally. But yeah, dude, she spread out a little bit, you know what I mean? Because when she was inside, she was more dense and compact, and I understand that's probably because she was on the smaller side at that point. But since she's come outside, she's definitely spread out a lot. I have trimmed the inside out. Well, I did a lollipopping, as you can see. Probably a little bit more than half the plant has now been lollipopped. No, I didn't do it all at once. I did it in steps, in phases, however you want to put it. I did take off, and I was going back and forth in my head for quite a while, for about a week, on whether I should take off the lower one here and the lower one that was over there. And I took them off because they were hanging down and they were shorter. They were like coming up and they were like right here, the tops, and it just looked funny, so I was like, fuck it, you know. And I didn't even use them as clones. As a matter of fact, they're sitting right here. Here's one, because I have a full clone machine right now, so I didn't have any place for them. And here's two, and it's a shame too, because look at how thick these are. They're beautiful. They were beautiful, but fuck it, you know. The rest of the plant will get, I would assume, healthier or whatever, or I'll get better buds, hopefully, based on the fact that those are gone. Hopefully. There's no sense in having stuff low down on the plant like that when you want all the energy and nutrients and all that shit higher up at the top. So yeah, and it looks a lot better. It looks more symmetrical, a lot more even now that those are gone. It looks like this side over here is a little bit lower. All I got to do to fix that is maybe trim off one layer, one set of nodes, you know, go up one node on a few branches and even out, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. The diatomaceous earth sat on there for a good 2 days. I gave it a good watering yesterday, and you can see some of the diatomaceous earth is still out here on the sides. There's a little bit still in here, but it's not bad. Like I said, I just did a little dusting around the top, and just enough to cover, put a nice layer over the top. And it's not like it's not even a millimeter thick, the layer. Like I said, it was just a dusting, and that should be enough to handle any kind of soft-bodied insect. Like I said, I started seeing some insects, some bugs crawling around here and there. They're nothing that was going to harm the plant. They were just natural outdoor bugs. But that right there was like, man, I don't want a bunch of bugs up on my shit like are on the ground, and I don't want it getting infested. So I sprinkled some of that shit down, and I've noticed no bugs. So it's keeping them away, from what I can tell. I still got to treat the plant with neem oil, and that'll help keep pests away too, because the neem oil gets down on the dirt. I usually spray the dirt anyways, just to be safe. But yeah, the plant needs it just to be safe. Like I said, I use it as a preventative, because I don't have spider mites or anything like that right now, and I want to keep it that way. I'm not worried about PM at this point. That would be in the fall, or if it rained a lot this summer. See, look at this one I'm talking about. See how low it goes, whoop, you know. I don't like it, but that one's sticking out far enough towards getting full sun, so there's no point in cutting it. But I just don't like, I like my plants to be like perfectly symmetrical, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm anal that way. If you give me some trimmers and I get going, dude, the whole plant will end up going. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just get in that mode where I'm just like, okay, that's got to come off, that's got to come off, that's got to come off. And then by the time I'm done, I will stand back and look at it, I'm like, fuck, did I trim too much off? So I didn't do that this time. I wanted to really bad. I could feel it. That, you know, I could feel the want to keep trimming. But I was like, man, I'm just gonna hurt the plant if I keep trimming shit up. So, you know, give it a nice high and tight haircut. But yeah, I didn't do that this time, thank goodness. I felt like I wanted to, though. In my head, I was just like, ah, do it. But it's not always a good idea to trim off that much. You know, you want to do a third of the plant at one time, no more than that at a time. You want to space it out over a week or two. You know, I wouldn't say 2 weeks, but at least, you know, do a lollipopping maybe once every 3 days if you're trying to get rid of a bunch. I did this over the course of a couple weeks. I think I've only had this plant out here for like, what, 2 weeks now? So I was lollipopped a little bit before I brought it out, and then I've just consistently trimmed it up. But now she's done. I'm not going to be lollipopping anymore whatsoever. I'm just going to let her do her thing and grow naturally from here on out. No manipulation at all. See, I got this one right here. It's been bugging me too. You can see. You can see how much. See that? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, what do you guys think? Should I fucking cut that one off? I'll give you another angle. This is the kind of shit that bugs me. This is why I get in the mode to cut, you know, cutting things down. See, you can see that's the one right there, and then it goes out and it's lower. Then it's like the top of it is right at the bottom of these. So that's another dilemma that I run into. You know, do I want to cut it off or do I want to leave it? And this time I went with the obvious decision, I guess you could say, and I just left it alone. But if it continues to stay short and these all continue to grow, that's going to get cut off. And that would end up being the next one to go. Even some of these right here are lower, and I don't, almost fell, squatting down on my knees here. Or squatting down, not on my knees, but you know what I'm saying. But like this one is kind of low, but, and this one is kind of low, but they'll do it right. But yeah, that one over there though, dude, it bugs me. And you can see how it sticks out like that versus all the other ones. So yeah, I don't know what to do about it. Like I said, part of me wants to cut it off. The other part of me wants to leave it. Because if I continue trimming shit off, there's just, it's gonna be all fucked. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end up trimming off good shit, or shit that will end up doing good, you know, when it starts to flower. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? Should I cut that one off? That would be the last one to go. Because as of right now, I'm not lollipopping anymore, and I'm done super cropping. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I went ahead and chopped the poles, the bamboo stakes or poles or whatever you want to call them, down lower, so that way I'm not headbutting them, or running into them with my face, whatever, however you want to put it. You know, they were tall. Some of them were leaning in and shit, so I just said, fuck it. I went ahead and cut them and pulled a couple out and hammered them back in. And I got the fence all nice and tight. As you can see, the dog can't go in there, because if he can get in there, he will piss on it. Straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That dog likes to piss on shit. So, see him look at it. He's like, God damn it, this fence is in the way. Fuck. He wants to pee on it bad. You know, he's chilling in the shade. It's hot today. Which is nice, because it hasn't been hot the last couple of days. It's been overcast and kind of cold. Well, I'd say the lower 60s, it's not really, or mid 60s, is not really cold. But, you know, to grow a plant, it is. And the thing that I've noticed is this plant likes it sun, like full sun, and it likes it warm. Because when it cools off and shit, when it was cool for that period of time and overcast, it didn't seem like it was growing that much. You know, I was looking at it, I was like, dude, there's no way this is going to be a big plant, you know, with the way the weather's going and this and that and the other. But if it keeps like this, she should do fine. She should get nice and big. Hopefully it produces some big buds. The other thing I was thinking about, goddamn neighbor's rooster, come fall, or, you know, like September, I was thinking about getting one of those fold-out canopies, you know, those, I don't know what you would call them, but it's just like just a canopy, you know, where you fold it out and It's got a cover on it. I thought about getting one of those and putting it over the top of this when it starts to bud out, if it's going to rain. And using one of my LEDs inside out here under the canopy as a, what's the word I'm looking for? As a supplemental lighting. I don't know, that's an option. Because if I put it under a canopy, I don't know, it would be a white canopy, because I don't think they make any clear ones. So I don't know how well this plant would grow under a white canopy. It may not. So that's what I was thinking, supplemental lighting. Because it's too big to fucking put indoors now, you know. It's stuck outdoor. So, but yeah, if the weather changes for the worse, that's the only thing I'm going to be able to do is put a canopy over the top of it and use my Spider Farmer SF4000 and bring it out here because it's waterproof, and use it as supplemental lighting. And that light would do okay for this plant. The buds won't be the biggest, but that light's actually pretty strong. And it has pretty damn good light penetration. So it may be a good help for this plant, you know, this fall. We'll see. Definitely not going to bring out one of my kind LEDs. There's no fucking way. Like I said, I paid like $18.95 for each one of those lights. It's fucking ripoff. It's super expensive, dude. I mean, I like the lights, don't get me wrong. The lights are dope, but still, it's a ripoff, dude. $1,900 for a fucking light. Give me a break. I can go buy a used car for that. Well, it'd be a shitty one, but I could buy, actually, maybe not too bad. I could buy a used car for that price. It probably wouldn't be a shitty one. It'd probably have problems, but at least it would get me from point A to point B. You know what I mean? Putting a kind LED out here like the ones that I got would be like putting a Rolls Royce, you know, out here. I guess, if that makes any sense. I would rather have the cheaper one out here. That way, if anything happens to it, it's not a huge deal. But, yeah, man, she's looking good. Really good. I'm really pretty pleased, actually. This would be the, third or fourth time I've grown outside. Now this is just a single plant. Let's see, first time I grew outside, I grew 2 plants. The second time I grew outside, I grew a bunch of plants. And that's the grower that didn't turn out that, I mean, I got bud, but it didn't turn out that great. Wasn't super dense. The plants didn't get more than 6 hours of sunlight a day, if that. So, because they would end up in the shade. I was growing in a bad spot, but it's all I had. So, and then after that, I had one plant grow outside, and that one turned out all right. But again, lack of sun. But this one gets plenty of sun, and it's bigger. So, it should do okay. It really should. See, it's windy as fuck, dude. And the plant's doing just fine. Look at that. Hardly moving at all. So that's a good thing. I put, what I did is the other day, it was either before, I think it was before I watered, I put a slope going down to the base of the stalk and wiped a lot of that away, and I sprinkled mycorrhiza and azos in there and then covered it up with the dirt, and then I gave it a watering, and it seems to be helping with the root strength, building out a lot of roots going that way, because I had it originally started it off in a square, you know, what, a 4x4 pot or something like that, you know, just a little square thing. And you can see with the roots where the square was, and then it goes down a little bit, and then it gets round for the 1 gallon pot, and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping with that mycorrhiza and azos, those roots will build up and it'll be a nice even rooting zone. At least I hope. But I mean, something's working, you know what I mean? It's gotten really strong. So I mean, look at this, dude. Hardly moves at all. It's pretty nice. I like it. Not moving at all. So anyways, that's pretty much all I got. Nothing actually really special. Oh yeah, I don't have a deficiency anymore. She had a magnesium deficiency, and that's because she had a newt lockout from the pH being off. This plant likes a pH of around 6 to 6.5. It doesn't like it below 6. It tends to do a newt lockout and show me a magnesium deficiency. So I don't know if that has to do with genetics or what, but and it kind of bugs me because I like to keep my pH around a 6. But with this soil, it's going to be even more difficult for me to keep that low of a pH. So like I said, I just pH my water out to a 6.5 and dump it in there. I would assume that that would be better than just putting garden hose water on it, you know, even though I could do that. But the pH on the garden hose water is almost an 8. You know what I mean? It's like a, maybe it's not that high. My pH meter will hit 8, but then it drops down to probably, what, a 7.3 to 7.5, somewhere in that range. So that's too high. So that's why I dropped my pH for the water down to a 6.5. And hopefully, like I said, obviously it's helping, because these guys have no deficiency. Well, something's going on right here. A little something, something. You see that? So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. The plant's telling me something. It almost looks like a deficiency. It's not a toxicity for sure. None of the leaves are clawing or anything like that. And that seems to be the only leaf that's doing that. I just noticed it while I was making this video. This one seems okay. It might have a little bit right here on this leaf. That's not a rust spot. That's like a bug shit or something. You know, bugs do shit. Yeah, the other thing, like this tacoing type deal, I think it's just the way this plant grows, because they're all like that. And I wouldn't necessarily call it tacoing because the edges aren't rolling. It's just like a V almost. So I thought that was a little weird. The leaves that I'm used to are usually, they're flat, you know what I mean? I mean, some of them are, I guess, but not all of them. I don't want to chalk that up to a deficiency or a toxicity. I think that's just the genetics of this plant. So, but yeah, if you guys see anything on here that looks out of sorts on these leaves, you know, that I'm missing, go ahead and post it in the comments. Because, you know, if I'm missing something, I would like to know. But yeah, you can see how these leaves have like a V in them, you know, look at that. So I think that is normal for this strain or this plant, however you want to put it. But I'm not really used to seeing leaves do that. Usually I see leaves do that when they're first growing out. But then again, I don't know, maybe that is what's going on, because this one doesn't have a V on it. I just noticed that one down there doesn't have a V. Oh no, a little bit on this leaf. But they're flatter. Like this one right here is nice and flat. So I don't know, maybe that is just the way it grows until the leaf itself reaches maturity and then it flattens out. That's what I think is going on. Or it's just not as much of a V, like this one is not as bad. That's not a rust spot, that's something else. Like, I think that's bug shit too. So there's a little bit of a hole right here. I took out a stalk or a shoot, whatever, because it was below these two and this one. So I said, fuck it, it's gonna leave a little bit of a hole, but I yanked it anyways because it kept getting covered up. So it is what it is. I just manipulate some of the shit and put it right there, you know, bend it, whatever. But I'm just dealing with it. It's whatever. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, man, that's all I got, you guys. So if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them. Like the video, smash the bell, and subscribe to see the rest of my grow. This is the Cannabis Guru. Till next time, peace.